Greetings to you all. I hope that you're feeling blessed and highly favored on today. Getting right into things, this is actually the sixth episode of Justrillmedia's review of House of the Dragon. And this one comes in, it's basically a pilot reboot, new characters, for the most part, new characters coming into the ones that we've grown to know so dearly over the course of the first 5 episodes. And I'll get into my opinions on the new actors momentarily, but let's start off. We see Rhaenyra giving birth to, what we presume at first to be her initial child, or her first child rather, but later we find out that it's actually her third, and there's been a 10-year time jump. And immediately after she gives birth, and before I say that, man, I don't know what's up with this show and wanting to show childbirth, man. I be usually sitting down to eat when I watch this, man. I might be wanting to see this, man. I swear I do not be wanting to see that. That's one of the top 5 most disgusting things I feel like you can show on camera, and they dramatize it up to the 3rd degree, man. Nobody be wanting to hear. You hear every grunt and moan and ugly face and see all the blood, man. Nobody be wanting to see all that, but that's their thing on this show. So they actually show 2 childbirths in this episode, but we'll get to that momentarily. Now, after Rhaenyra gives birth to her 3rd child, Alicent, playing a little game, she commands the child to be brought up to her immediately. And so, Rhaenyra, she walks the child up there herself instead of, trusting someone else to actually bring it up there. And so, she does that, and they show how hard it is for her to move and to get up the steps, and this, that, and the third, fresh off of child labor. Then once they get up there, King Rhaenyra's still, he's old and decrepit, but he come in looking like my boy out for off Scary Movie 2, man. He come in limping, missing the arm, hell on receipt. He just come in looking bad as hell. But he's happy, of course, to see a new child, and he's still in denial. He's thinking, oh, well, forget the black hair. Shoot, my daughter, in his eyes, Rhaenyra can do no wrong. And so he's not really tripping on it, but the rest of the realm actually is seeing what's going on here. We find out, of course, that, that's Sir Harwin's children, based off how they're insinuated throughout the course of the episode. And then he ends up actually holding the child after, I forget, Mr. Fruity Balloon. I forget it, Mr. Fruity Balloon Valerian. He just run around drinking the whole time, and so he play his duty when he got to. But the whole thing just kind of weird and funny, man. But the flip side of that, there's a lot of relationships that actually go on like this with me and me on the down low, and this, that, and the third. And so oftentimes I can imagine this is what women are going through when you can't relate, when you don't have a masculine man in the household, and you just got some type of little Fruity Balloon character who would much rather be out doing some other stuff, and y'all just kind of hold it together for political reasons. So, it's funny that the show is showing this and the dynamics of it, because it's weird, it's very weird, and but the man tries his best to play his role, and so very weird dynamics. So then they go to the dragon pit to help the young child try to master his dragon. See, the Aemon or Aegon, one of the 2 blonde-haired kids, man, which is Alicent's children. And so, they play a little trick on him and act like he has a dragon, but he really doesn't. They bring him a pig out. And, then Alicent, she comes in, she catches her son beating off, man, but she basically got to explain to him, like, you got to watch and protect your brother, like, even though them your cousins and whatnot, like, they're not your friends like that, but his mind still can't understand that. It's still immature, and rightfully so. It hasn't been tainted yet with all the politics and whatnot. So she comes in, she's very angry, and she has that sense of urgency in trying to teach them how things should be going, and basically trying to impose her views on them at this early age. And so Alicent appears, bored when she's kicking it with her daughter. Like, her main thing is to get her sons upright and prepped. But I must admit that she's giving off Cersei vibes, like man, I miss my old Allison Hightower, man. That was my baby. Like, I feel like it'd be totally different if they had her in there, even if she was doing like certain moves. It still wouldn't come off that way. Like this woman, she just a crybaby, like possessing the traits of a petulant child. Just trying to frantically get her way, all out of order. It's just, man, she not cute like she used to be to me, and neither is Viscera, man. Rhaenyra, pardon me. Man, she on some Cyndi Lauper shit, like Papa don't preach. She like she one of them types, man. I really don't like either one of them, man. Bring my old Allison Hightower back, man. Bring my baby boo back, man. I miss my Allison Hightower, But it's all gravy, man. And then it goes on to Sir Christian. He out there. He's Allison's bodyguard now. And, they basically, misery love company. So they hate on Rhaenyra together, They kind of do their thing. And, just in quiet chambers, just complain about Rhaenyra, man. Very feminine. Like, he just done reduced himself to a little poop. But he did. But you already knew he was like that based on how he responded to not being able to play his role in the last episode, And then ready to kill himself after he emotionally lashed out. So we already know he a buster. But then, Damon. That's my dog, though, man. You feel me? Damon, he ended up marrying Lena Valeria. You dig? He got black kids running around. You dig? He got black kids running around just doing his thing, And, he's much more laid back at this point. He just doing his thing. You dig? He kind of off in La La Land, man. He done removed himself from the politics, and he just out there kind of content with living out his days. But, he handles business, because they try to present him with a proposition. They want to do some swap outs. Since y'all got dragons, we'll give y'all money basically to be our protectors and this little land that he's in. And, his wife doesn't want that. She desires to go back to where they from and, and really retain their importance or their value. But Damon doesn't wish for this. And, going back to the sibling rivalry, Sir Harwin, Sir Christian, they get into it. And Sir Christian, he's just messy, man. Just trying to bring it out, man, that these is his kids, So he's treating Allison kids obviously better than Sir Harwin's children or Rhaenyra's children. And so he basically brings the jealousy out of him when he's out there and he see him mistreating his sons and this, that, and the third and being cruel to him. It basically brings the anger out of him, much like it would any father. And so that's his way of somewhat exposing him. And then from that point, that kind of sets the precedence for the rest of the episode to where it turns around that, the rumors are getting so bad that these are not Rhaenyra's her rightful kids to her husband, that these are bastard children. And so, it forces her basically to leave the kingdom, And so she tries to kind of circumvent this. She tries to go around it and present a proposition to Allison. But, Allison just ain't going. She just ain't going for that at this point. And, and then so, she ends up having to leave. And then Damon's wife, again, they show another childbirth. So Lena Valerian, she ended up, basically a child wouldn't come out. So it's going to be a stillbirth eventually. And then, but instead of just dying in the bed like Viserys' first wife, she ends up going out there and she rather get burnt to death. So she tells her dragon to, basically burn her alive, and that's what she does. Instead of making Daemon choose to, between her and the child. And to end things off, Sir Harwin is killed, after Allison complaining to the dude with the walk, the dude with the little walk, man, the little limp foot dude. He basically puts together a plan to go ahead and kill his father and his brother, which is Sir Harwin, so that Allison's father can come back and be hand of the king, since he, that's kind of his way of solving her issues, kind of doing what needs to be done. But then, with that, he kind of sets himself up to be a villain. So, it'll be interesting how things shape out. This episode, to me, it wasn't as good. It's one of those dry episodes a little bit. I felt like it certainly could have been better. It didn't really grasp my attention like that. I feel the new actors are somewhat trying to get acclimated But you know, the first episode started off a bit slow as well. It kind of had to grow on me, and so maybe these characters will also. But I mean, just my initial take on them, man, I ain't really feeling the new Allison or the new Rhaenyra, man. Especially, you know, y'all know Allison was my baby, man. You feel me? I felt like she was fine as hell. So, you know, this new one, she's somewhat cute, man, but her acting just a little different. And like the old Allison, like, again, if she was doing these type of acts, it would still come across a bit different. Like maybe it's her face or the youthfulness in it and how it came across. It would still seem a bit more feminine. It just looked like this woman is out of control, like Cersei vibes, you know. But not even as smooth as Cersei though. You know, Cersei she had some real tact with her shit. You really saw her getting out of order. It was very classy and regal and everything that she was doing. She had that on lock. This Allison, not the case, you know. So I don't know. We'll see where it plays out from here, man. But these are just my thoughts on the episode. Y'all definitely chime in. Let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy the episode? And and let me know your thoughts concerning it. You know. But until next week, I appreciate you for tapping in, and everyone be blessed.